Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for joining us today as we take you through health insurance and help you understand this insurance policy better. This is Bhairavi here from Bajaj Allianz. Due to an emergency, Ajay could not be here to conduct this program, so I would be doing it on his behalf. What we are going to cover in this webinar is we are going to provide insights on topics like coverage, claim process, health card benefits, network hospitals, and a lot more information which tends to pass under the radar unnoticed. Few health policies also provide value-added services, which not many are aware about. Knowing these will help you get the best out of a health policy. We are steadfastly building an online community for women, which is a special platform created for women, especially for urban women, where they can find a lot of information on women-centric topics like health, finance, career, parenting, and lots more. We are also planning to add a host of new interactive features, so do keep checking it from time to time. Now, during this webinar, we also have a Twitter contest going on. The contest will run for the duration of the webinar. What you need to do is you just need to let us know which of the key learnings or insights discussed in today's webinar you found to be really useful. All you have to do is use the hashtag. It's really simple and you stand to win Flipkart vouchers. It's simple really, and that's our Twitter handle. It's @Bajaj Allianz. So get tweeting, guys. There's a lot of flip to be won today. Now, as we get started, the intent behind this webinar is to help those who have a health policy understand it better and to provide enough tip to those who are looking at getting a health policy. Now to help take you through this entire presentation, we have with us two experts from the Bajaj Allianz health team. They are going and we'll get to explain most of them answered today for you by our experts. Just use the hashtag. It's simple really on Twitter. The aspects that you need to know about a health plan. During the course of this, now I would like to introduce our panel today, whom we have with us for this particular webinar. We have with us Dr. Renuka Kanmende, who is a senior manager at Bajaj Allianz. Dr. Renuka, very good morning to you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Bhairavi, we can hear you. Good morning to you too.
Hello?
Yeah, Bhairavi, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Dr. Renuka. Thank you for joining us today. We would like you to please, for the benefit of those who are here, if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Before I tell about myself, I would like to tell briefly about our team and what we do. The Bajaj Allianz Health Administration team was the pioneer in in-house health insurance operations. We started out 8 years back, and up to a couple of years back, we were the 8 years. I have worked only 1 month in the market to have a in-house administration of health insurance. That claims, retail underwriting, group underwriting, and we have in the health administration and product development team. Currently, I'm handling health and overseas travel insurance. Hello.
Hello, yeah,
Hello.
yeah, please.
Hello.
Continue. Hello, yeah, Dr. Renuka is still there?
Yes, Bhairavi. Hello, Bhairavi.
Hello, Bhairavi, we are not able to hear you.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello. Yeah, Bharvi.
Yeah, Dr. Renuka. Sorry, I think we kind of the connection got a little haywire in the middle. So if you
Yes.
could just tell a bit about yourself, your background, then we can start off.
Yes, as I said, I've been with Bajaj Allianz for the last 8 years. I've worked through most profiles in the health administration team. I'm currently handling health and overseas travel insurance underwriting and claims, along with the group underwriting and product development. We are a team of actually 30 to 35 doctors on a pan-India basis in the health administration team. And most of the operations are carried out from Pune at the head office, but we also have local teams at Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, Hyderabad. We cover most metros. Yeah, Bhairavi. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, please continue.
Yeah, yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay. Thanks, Dr. Renuka. So that is one of our expert for you here today. Also, we have with us Dr. Abhijit Ghosh. Dr. Abhijit Ghosh, he's a health insurance manager at Bajaj Allianz. He handles about 45 team members, uh, total at a pan India level. So, good morning, Dr. Abhijit. Welcome to the webinar.
Good morning, Bhairavi. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, could you please tell us a little bit about yourself, your background at Bajaj Allianz, and what you were doing before that?
Yeah, basic introduction about Bajaj Allianz Health has already been given by Dr. So,
Right.
what exactly I take care of? It's what Dr. Renuka is not taking care of. So, that involves managing the providers, that is the networking of the hospitals, managing the diagnostic clinics, then that is empaneling them and also having a pre-policy checkup done for them. And then other aspects of the operations like the enrollment part and the analytics part. And also now we have developed a new team that is the fraud management team. So that also is taken care by me, and that is the pan India level. So the basic teams which I'm managing, that is the networking and the fraud management team, they are at the pan India level. So and by qualification, I'm a doctor, and my stint with Bajaj Allianz is now almost 2 years. That's all about me.
Oh, great. Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Abhijit. Now, guys, just a quick reminder. You have Flipkart vouchers up for grabs today. All you have to do is tweet about the takeaway from the webinar, the key learning that you've got from the webinar about your favorite speaker using the hashtag. It's simple, really. So get tweeting. Now we have Dr. Renuka, who is going to take us through the first part of demystifying a health policy. What we start with is the basic, which is to understand the coverages of a health insurance plan. Dr. Renuka, we would like you to elaborate on the coverages and the exclusions that come in a health plan and what one should look out for.
Right. Thanks, Bharati. What I would like to, there are a few coverages which most people are aware of in a health insurance policy, and some things which people are not aware of pertaining to the health policy, either pertaining to the coverages or the benefits that they can have out of it. So I will just run through some of the important ones. Most importantly, obviously, the policy covers for hospitalization expenses only. Okay, those have a pre and post hospitalization expenses cover, which covers the outpatient treatment related to the hospitalization. The period for which the pre and post hospitalization expenses would be covered differ from product to product. Generally, they are either 30 days pre post and 60 days pre hospitalization, 60 days post hospitalization. Or in case of Bajaj Allianz, most of our retail products have it as a 60 days pre hospitalization and 90 days post hospitalization expenses. So one is the hospitalization expenses, two is the pre and post hospitalization expenses. We also cover most health insurance policies also cover ambulance charges in an emergency. So there are certain, though we say that this is basically a hospitalization expense policy, there are some procedures in the which can be conducted without a full hospitalization of more than 24 hours, things like cataracts or hysteroscopies, etc., where less than 24 hours hospitalization is also suffices, in which case these get covered as daycare procedures. So basically, hospitalization
Okay.
expenses, pre and post hospitalization expenses, daycare procedures, ambulance charges are what the policy covers. Can we go on to the
Right.
next one, Baby?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, we can continue. I have
some
changed the
benefits
slides again.
which the policy gives you besides. Yeah, one is there could be these are the benefits which most health insurance policies in the market offer. Things like family discounts, cumulative bonus for each claim-free renewal in the policy are two of the key things that most health insurance policies do. There are a couple of important things which I would like to highlight, Bhairavi. One is that
Mm.
the medical test charges, a minimum of 50% of the medical
Yes.
test charges have to be mandatorily borne by the insurer. This is a regulatory norm. So, in
Okay.
case you are opting for health insurance policy through any company, at least 50% of the expenses of the pre-policy test have to be borne by the insurer. Two is health insurance policies, as per regulatory norms, are always renewable. Okay, unless there is a
Mm-hmm.
fraud or non-disclosure on part of the insured. Okay, so any health
Okay.
insurance policy, the renewal cannot be denied by the insurer unless the insured does not want to renew the policy and wants to shift the insurer, etc. So these are two
Okay.
important
Okay.
things that I think people are probably not aware of and keep in mind when they're opting for a health insurance plan. Um, Two is that
Right.
also pre-policy checkups can be arranged. Bajaj Allianz, for example, has an extensive network
Okay.
of diagnostic centers across India, and
Mm.
the pre-policy checkups are arranged through our own pre-policy team. The appointments are taken, follow-ups are done. We ensure that the people go to the network diagnostic centers and they have a hassle-free experience at our empaneled centers. Post which the entire cycle of getting the reports and getting the policies issued is done by the health administration team.
Okay, great. So one of the key points out here for all our viewers today to learn is that a health insurance, it can be continuously renewed with the same insurer unless and until there's been some kind of an issue in terms of non-disclosure. They are eligible for renewal with the same company, right?
Right, right,
Right. Okay, so let's move
right.
on. There are some more benefits coming up right here. So if you could take us through these as well.
Yep. As I said, we've already spoken about the pre-policy checkup refund. As I said, 50% is mandatorily has to be refunded. Some policies in the market may, and some insurers may give 100% reimbursement of the pre-policy charges. Some may get 50, 75, whatever, but at least 50% has to be reimbursed. Another thing is that even in case a couple of things about the hospitalization itself. One is that there is something called as a network and non-network hospital concept in health insurance. So whenever people get admitted to a network hospital for any insurance company, they are eligible for cashless facility. Okay, and in case of non-network
Right.
hospitals, where these lists are generally either sent with the policy and the card, and they would be available on the websites. For example, on our Bajaj Allianz website, we have a facility of a Google search on the nearest network hospital, etc. So you have a network hospital where you can avail of cashless facility. You have non-network hospitals. Either in either type of hospital, you can avail of reimbursement of the claim. So even if even if you go to a non-network hospital, you can still submit the claim for reimbursement unless that hospital has
Okay.
been blacklisted, or for some reason the hospital is not considered for payment by the insurance company, in which case we would have clearly mentioned so on the policy. Okay. Another important thing is that we also give free health checkup at designated diagnostic centers at the end of 4 continuous claim free renewals. So that is an important benefit. I think everybody should utilize it. It is not. It's absolutely hassle free. It can be done through our pre-policy team. We will arrange. You just need to give us a call. We arrange it through our network diagnostic centers. The appointment is taken. The insured is informed, and you can. So once in 4 years, in case of 4 claim-free renewals, this benefit is also available to the insured population. Another important benefit, I think, a couple of years back, I think that was the only benefit for which people were opting for a health insurance policy, which is the income tax benefit on the premium paid for a health insurance. But obviously, times are changing. People are realizing that income tax benefit is not the only thing under which, because of which a policy needs to be bought. Health insurance costs are going up, treatments are getting more and more expensive, and there is a big need for each one of us to have a health insurance policy today.
Okay, great. So the one thing that people need to remember out here is, even if they cannot avail cashless in a particular hospital, they can still send it in for reimbursement. That doesn't mean that the claim is not going to be looked into. And also to check up on facilities like free health checkups after continuous claim-free renewals, right? All right.
Right.
Now we looked at the basic, product benefits which come with every standard health insurance policy. If you could also take us through some of the main exclusions that are there in every health policy, so that people can understand it better.
Right. A couple of important ones which I think most people would be aware of. One is the pre-existing diseases which are excluded. Most health insurance policies do not cover pre-existing diseases. I would just like to mention briefly what is pre-existing. Pre-existing is any health condition or a disease or a diagnosis for which a person is suffering from even prior to taking or opting for the policy. One important thing is, obviously, as we go along, I will be mentioning that the importance of declaring your health condition at the time of opting for the policy. This is in relation to the same thing. Pre-existing conditions are usually having some waiting period in each health insurance policy. For example, the Bajaj Allianz Health Guard policy has a waiting period of 4 years for pre-existing conditions. Our Health Insure policy has a waiting period of 2 years. Our Silver Health policy covers pre-existing second year onwards. So the waiting period for pre-existing could differ from product to product. Okay, so it is important for people to clearly understand this when they opt for the policy. Two is, there are waiting periods for certain conditions such as hernia, cataract, renal stones, etc. For again, this period would differ. Some policies have this waiting period for 1 year, some policies have it for 2 years. But these illnesses generally in most policies would have a waiting period of at least a year or a couple of years. These are two important waiting periods that any health insurance policy would have. Also, a first 30 days waiting period for any condition at all except for accidents. So these are the three waiting periods in the policy: 30 days, 1 year or 2 years, and 4 years. So these are the three important waiting periods in the policy. Rest are general exclusions which policies have for cosmetic conditions which don't get covered, congenital conditions, HIV and AIDS-related treatment, and treatment of non-allopathic modes of treatment. I mean, rather expenses incurred for non-allopathic modes of treatment. Any health policy, most health policies in the market cover hospitalization expenses for the allopathic mode of hospitalization only. So these are some of the important exclusions.
Okay.
Again, it's very important for people to remember that what I've spoken about are general exclusions in health insurance policies. The waiting periods, the specific exclusions may differ from product to product.
Right. There are also, I think, a couple more, such as treatments which are not covered for use of intoxicating substances, and there's a waiting period for joint replacement surgery. Could you explain that part as well?
Again, the joint replacement surgery, the waiting period again would differ from product to product. This is basically, this is aging-related process for which joint replacement surgeries are required. So most insurance policies would have some kind of a waiting period to ensure that there is no anti-selection, etc. Otherwise, if a joint replacement, like a knee replacement surgery, etc., is required on account of an accident, it gets covered. However, if it is any other kind of joint replacement, has a waiting period in the policy. Most policies would have it for 4 years.
Okay. Okay, that's great. That gives us a really good insight on how the coverages and the exclusions play out in a policy. I think the next part is the one that a lot of people would like to have clarity on. Okay. Thanks, Dr. Renuka, for explaining that part for us. Now I think we come to the part which a lot of people always like to know more about, the claim process. Right from how cashless procedure works to the turnaround time which is taken. So we have given out here an illustration of how it works in Bajaj Allianz. If you can just explain how cashless process normally works in Bajaj Allianz and the TAT, so people will understand what is cashless vis-a-vis reimbursement.
I actually, there is some kind of, if I would have to explain the cashless process, it's as it is apparent in this small illustration, it's quite simple. It's seamless, so to say. Still, I believe people have some kind of block saying that, okay, maybe the cashless process is not as smooth as it is made out to be. I would tend to agree partly in the sense that there could be, issues related to in the hospital itself, for the running around, for the getting the form filled up and getting the information from the hospital and then sending it to us. A small little tip that I would like to give here is that to ensure that, again, in case of an emergency or say an accidental emergency, etc., obviously you would not have time enough to intimate us in advance. But if possible, and wherever possible, please do inform the health team in advance, say maybe at least a couple of days prior to the hospitalization. What we have found is that almost 50% of hospitalizations are planned. Rather, more than 50% hospitalization are planned, and it is entirely possible for the insured to get in touch with us before going in for the hospitalization. If whenever that happens, it is it is easy. We also have some time in case you are facing some issues in the hospital with regards to getting information, getting the pre-authorization form filled, etc. Then we are also in a position to guide you better. So it is always helpful to the insured as well as to us for a seamless process to ensure that if you inform us in advance, at least a couple of days, even 1 day in advance. So that is one small tip I would like to give. Rest the claims process, as has been illustrated here, the insured will go to a Bajaj Allianz network hospital. Again, cashless treatment is available only in network, cashless facilities available only in network hospitals. So the insured goes to a network hospital. The hospital would verify his details. He would have to show his health card there. So he'll have to show his health card. They will verify that he's a member of Bajaj Allianz. A pre-authorization form is then given to the insured. Certain details have to be filled up by the insured there, his personal details, etc. Then the medical details are filled up by the treating doctor there. It is signed by the treating doctor, stamped by the hospital, then sent to the Bajaj Allianz Health Administration team, post which it is processed at RM and a response is given out to the hospital. Either the cashless gets approved. In case the information is incomplete, then we need to go back to the hospital and ask for further details about what is the condition, what, if the symptoms are not detailed properly, the treatment is not mentioned correctly, etc. So that is queried. Or in case the condition falls in any of the exclusion clauses in the policy, then the cashless gets denied. The important part to remember here is that what we have found from our experience is that a lot of cashless gets delayed, etc., because of lack of correct and complete information coming in from the network hospital and the insured. So it is very important for the insured to ensure that the information is completely filled up on the pre-authorization form. If you would generally ask any insurance company or the PPS, etc., about the turnaround times for cashless, they would say would be between 4 to 6 hours, etc. But it gives us great, we take great pride in this, that for the Bajaj Allianz team, the turnaround time for cashless on an average is 38 minutes, which is the best in the industry today. So we would certainly encourage people to go in for more of cashless. It is actually a very quite hassle free, provided certain basic criteria is adhered to.
Okay. So that's great. Dr. Renuka, if you could also just mention, when a person needs to intimate the insurance company, what are the mediums through which he can inform? The toll-free number? What about the local branch office? What is the ideal way to get it done?
No, for cashless hospitalization, the intimation would have to come through the hospital only, simply because medical information is needed to be entered on the pre-authorization form. The claim certainly can be intimated to us, even cashless claim can be intimated to us through the call center, through our local offices, the details for which would be there on the policy copy. It could be sent as an email, it could be intimated on our website, etc. But the cashless process itself has to be initiated through the hospital only. Otherwise, intimation for a cashless claim can come through any of these modes.
Okay, okay. That is really interesting because that's a key point that a lot of people, always like to know. How do we get the information across? How do we inform the company? All right, so now we discussed how cashless
Right.
procedure works. Now, what happens when cashless is not taken? So, if you could take us through what is the reimbursement mechanism? How does it differ from cashless?
Um, Yeah, as I've explained earlier, reimbursement claims are or happen or occur either in network or in non-network hospitals. Obviously, mostly people would opt for cashless when they go to a network hospital. There will be a small percentage for whatsoever reason they may want to claim for reimbursement even in a network hospital. But mostly there would be non-network hospitals where people, have get hospitalized, get treated, and then pay up the bill and then claim for reimbursement. Basically, in this reimbursement claim, again, two three important points. One is that intimation of claim to us, even if it's a reimbursement claim, is very important. So what we advise is to intimate the claim to us immediately post hospitalization on either of the through either of the modes, as I mentioned earlier, either through our call center, through our website, through our email IDs which are available on the website, or through our local office. So intimation of the reimbursement claim immediately on occurrence of the hospitalization is very important. It simply for the reason that we are able to guide once the claim gets intimated to us, it is registered, as a claim, and a certain and the procedure of informing the insured about what is the mandatory documentation, what is the procedure, etc. is done. So the insured is in a better position, once the claim is intimated to us early. So intimation of the
Hmm.
claim is one. Post hospitalization and post discharge, certain mandatory documentation needs to be collected from the hospital. The discharge summary, final hospital bill, the diagnostic, the reports of the diagnostic tests, medicine bills, etc. Along with the claim form, all in original, have to be submitted to us. Now, these documents could be submitted either through our local office, through their intermediary or the agent, or can be sent directly to the health administration team here in Pune. The contact numbers, the address of the health administration team, etc., is there in the on the policy copy itself. So,
Okay.
as I mentioned, the mandatory documents in original need to be submitted. Once they come to us, we have a team of doctors and paramedics who go through the claim documents. They assess whether the documents are sufficient, are adequate mandatory documentation is in place, whether any other additional information is required, whether the condition for which the patient was admitted is falling within the purview of the policy, etc. And then the claim is approved and goes for payment, provided all the documentation is in place and the ailment itself is falling within the admissible criteria. The standard turnaround time for payment of the claim post submission of complete set of documents with us is 10 working days. uh, but however,
Okay.
there are claims which in which we do not have the mandatory documentation for which we have to raise deficiencies to the insured. We send it through a hard copy of a letter. In case the mobile numbers, contact numbers, and email IDs are mentioned on the claim form, then we send out an emailer also. We send out an SMS also to the insured. So it is important for them to also remember to mention their mobile numbers and email IDs on the claim form so that we are able to reach out to them faster and whenever required. And again, once the document deficiencies are completed, then again the claim gets approved, provided obviously it is falling in the admissible criteria. Again, if the claim is not if the claim does not, or rather it falls in one of the exclusions of the policy, then the claim gets rejected. In either way, in either case, at every step of the claims, the claimant is informed through email and through an SMS on their mobile numbers about the stage at which the claim is lying. So one important point I would like to mention here is to mention your complete and correct contact details on the claim. Bhairavi?
Yeah, that is really, thank you so much for that. So one key takeaway for people is when you are making a claim, make sure that you give your contact details correctly. Hello, yeah, so shall we move ahead then?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, thanks. So one key thing for people to remember out here is make sure that you give your contact details correctly when you apply for a claim so that the company can keep you updated. Now, what we have been discussing so far is everything from the company's point of view. What are the coverages, the claims, the claim process, the exclusions in a health policy. But there are also things, simple things that that you as a policy holder can do to ensure that you get the best out of your policy. So what Dr. Renuka is going to quickly take us through is what what should you do as a policy holder to make sure that your journey is smooth with the insurance company.
Yeah, Bhairavi, I think we have mentioned most of these points as we went through the earlier processes, but I would like to still highlight a few key features. One is to begin with, at the proposal stage, as I mentioned earlier, it is imperative to be absolutely honest about your current health status at the time of applying for the policy. It is important to disclose all that you are aware of about your health condition, any diseases or illnesses that you may have already had, any hospitalization, etc. So that going forward, in event of a claim post buying the policy, you should not have any hassles. So one is to be absolutely honest at the proposal stage. Two is to understand. A couple of things at the proposal stage and a couple of things at the claim stage. One is, as I said, to be honest at the time of applying for the policy. Two is to completely understand what you are opting for and what are the benefits that you are going to get out of the policy. So it is important to read the policy wordings carefully, to understand the benefits, to ask questions to either the agent who is sitting with you for giving the policy, or if you are or if you're taking the policy through our through the website, through the web medium or through the call center, etc., to ask all possible questions about anything that you would not have understood in the policy. So read the brochure carefully, read the policy wordings carefully. Even after buying the policy, once the policy wordings are there with you, read it carefully, word by word. There are a lot of medical terminology also in our policy wordings, which is obvious since it's a health insurance policy. In case people are not able to understand, we have a team of doctors. Our call center people are also qualified enough, and they can refer it to us also. They do refer it to us also. So in case you don't understand any medical terminology or otherwise in the policy, please ask and get all these doubts clear so that in event of a claim, you are assured of a hassle-free experience. Third is obviously at the claim stage, please ensure that all documents I have already mentioned, are in original and your contact details are completely and correctly given. Fourth, most important, a lot of lack of awareness is there about this, and I would like to specifically highlight it here. Please do not abuse your health insurance cover. Simple things like ensuring that you get admitted to the right room category can go a long way in ensuring that you are able to make right utilization of your health insurance policy. So that, because it is important to remember that you only have that amount or that kitty of funds for that year available, and it is possible that a medical emergency or an accidental emergency can arise at any time. So though we do try to educate people who contact us for their claims, etc., it is important to remember this at the policy when you are opting for the policy also, that whenever in event of a claim, it is beneficial if you opt for the right room category, go to the right hospital, ensure that because finally this sum insured is your benefit, it is your kitty. We can only guide you as to, okay, do not opt for this room, please go to this particular hospital, this is you'll get better facilities here, etc. But finally the decision would be yours, the policy is yours, the sum insured is yours to use, in case of any medical emergency. So please do not misuse it. In case you have any issues, queries, how to use it better, how, whether X hospital would give you better benefits as compared to Y, which all that information is available with us. You can contact us anytime. We'll be most happy to guide you. So these are the four key things I would want to people to remember.
Okay. Thank you for that as well. Doctor, there's also, some confusion between whether in-house claim system is better for an insurance company or third-party administrators. What is the difference and how does a customer benefit? So, if you could explain to us what they stand for and why in-house TPA seems to score over third-party administrators.
One is okay. Yeah, see, prior to Bajaj Allianz starting off the health administration team, there were only TPAs in the market. All insurance companies had outsourced their health insurance operations to TPAs. We were the first ones to start off, and the reasons why we started off 8 years back are the same reasons which are holding true even today. Simple reasons like effectiveness in resolving customer queries, communication issues, etc., which we faced 8 years back, for which we went in house, are the same reasons why anybody who is looking for a health insurance policy and a health insurance provider should look for in when they are opting for a policy. One is that obviously in case of an in-house setup, the turnaround times for customer query resolution, the turnaround times for claims processing, etc., is far far better because there is no third party involved as far as the day-to-day administration goes. So the decisions are faster, the turnaround times are far far better. Two is as it is mentioned, the cost effectiveness is also better. We have, for example, in Bajaj Allianz, we have rates negotiated with most of our network hospitals. The rates are negotiated for procedures. We have vast discounts with our own network hospitals. So effectively, these discounts are passed on to the customers. Your sum insureds are saved better. You have a better experience during hospitalization. So one is, the turnaround times are very effective. Two is the cost effectiveness because of the discounted rates. Three is the faster claim settlement, not only to our insured but also to our hospitals. So because of which eventually when our customers go in for hospitalizations, the hospitals are most pleased to serve our customers because our payments and our turnaround time for services, not only to our customers but to our network hospitals, is also fast and effective. Uh, effectively, what all these things mean is a better experience for the customers during hospitalizations. Discounts, and as Dr. Abhijit will be telling you after, as we go along, in-house setups are also better because we have, for example, in Bajaj Allianz, we also have a lot of value-added services for our customers, which which nobody in the market today has, not even the TPAs. That we will be telling you a little later about. These are some of the key benefits that I would like to highlight, as which are there in an in-house setup like Bajaj Allianz as compared to the TPS. The most important thing I would I would like to point out is the uh, effective communication and faster turnaround times, and the benefits of which finally do get passed on to our.
Okay, Dr. Renuka.
Yeah.
At this point, we would just like to, send out a question. There's a question from Sankalp. He wants to know, why is it that some companies don't accept cashless?
Can you repeat the question, Bhairavi?
Yeah, he wants to know, why is it that some companies don't accept cashless, don't have cashless facility?
Most health insurance companies would have a cashless facility, and they would have a network of hospitals through either through their in-house teams or through the TPAs. It is possible that Mrs. Uncle would have probably approached or checked with some hospital which would not be on the panel of their insurance company, or for some reason is not empaneled, and because of which the cashless would not have been accepted there.
Right, probably. So, okay, that's great. Uh, so, thank you so much, Dr. Renuka, for that. I would just like to mention a few appreciative tweets that we've received. One which says that, Dr. Renuka is really making it simple, mesmerized on listening to her insights. We've also got a feedback from one of our customers, Mr. Ronak Vora, who has mentioned that 3 weeks back, one of my claim was passed on the same day and got the money in 48 hours. Very good service. So just wanted to highlight that this webinar, what you've been mentioning out there, is pretty useful to a lot of people out there who are joining us today.
Thank you, Bhairavi.
Now we have Dr. Abhijit with us, who is going to help us understand the ancillary benefits of a health policy. By now, we all probably have a very good idea of how health policies function, but unknown to many, some to provide what these are, for additional benefit, what is the benefit out of these value-added services. And for those of you out here who already have a Bajaj Allianz policy, you would also come across a few that you can probably make use of. So, Dr. Abhijit, I leave it to you to explain what value-added services is all about.
Yeah, good afternoon, Bhairavi and the rest of the team. Before I really go on to the value-added services, I would just like to brief about a few things. One is that what we were saying, what Dr. Renuka was specific upon, that is have the correct contact number entered while approaching for any cashless facility. The reason is that the same number gets captured into a system, and once a client or a customer applies for the pre-auth request, once his fax is received at our health administration team server, a default SMS goes that your cashless request has been received. And once it is approved or some sort of query is raised, another SMS from the system goes into that number. So it becomes very important and essential for the client to enter his contact number. Even a system generated mail is also sent if the mail ID is entered. Why I am specifying this is that there is a common complaint or a common grudge that sometimes comes into the customer's mind, that it really takes a lot of time for the pre-auth to get approved. Whereas in Bajaj Allianz, we are doing it in less than 45 minutes. The reason is that sometimes it gets pending from the hospital side, because the pre-auth form has to be signed by the doctor also, because it is related to his medical history. And sometimes the doctor might be busy in some surgery or might be attending a OPD cases. So what these TPA guys in the what these insurance guys do in the hospital, they pile up the things. They keep it for the time being. Let's say doctor will come to the casualty at 1 o'clock. So they will submit all the pre-auth requests by that time. So the transaction time gets increased. So what I want to give a clarity to our customer is that if in case you don't receive a SMS, you can be confident in saying to the hospital that I believe you have not sent that pre-auth request. And on the top of it, what he can do, he can just call our toll-free number and say that I am in this hospital, and it seems that the hospital persons are not sending the pre-auth form. So this is how the request will come to us, and then we will call up the hospital and ask for the pre-auth form. So I don't think we can make it more simplified than this. Do you agree?
Right, totally, totally. That's a totally
Yeah,
beneficial point for customers to know out here. Something very handy.
exactly. Yeah, so we want our customers to have a belief in us that whenever a request is coming, we are there on it and we will resolve it as soon as possible. We are not sitting on it. Yeah. Now, the next concept is what is value-added services. Why that concept came was we are only approachable to our customers at the time of grievances. That is when he's ill. But there are many times when he is not ill, that is, he is not requiring any proper hospitalization. So we thought that how can Bajaj Allianz help or benefit the customer at that time? The main thing was that can we reduce his cash outflow that is happening when if he's taking any treatment on the OPD basis, or is he purchasing any health related or some products which are somewhere related to the biology of the body. So we thought, why not have a new offering that is called as a value-added services. So, Bhairavi, if you can just go to the next slide where we are highlighting on this.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So we thought we can approach the hospitals directly because the hospitals are the one where the client often goes, not only for the admission purpose, but also to see when he is a little bit unwell. Let's say he goes to a hospital for a common cold, or he goes to a hospital for excessive tears in his eyes, or he goes for a hospital for a vague abdomen pain. In that case, he doesn't need a admission, but he has to pay some amount to the hospital. So we thought we'll introduce a concept of discounts on the OPD facilities. Now these discounts in the on the OPD facilities can vary from discounts on the OPD consultations. It can vary on the OPD done investigations. Let's say our IT guys or the people who are into office work, they are doing a lot of sitting activities that can cause neck pain or back pain. So what we have seen in 1 year, at least one MRI scan is required. Whenever they go to a big hospital, the doctor will be saying that you have to do a MRI scan and all, and these scans will be pretty costly. Common lumbar that is a lower back MRI scan will be costing 6,000 rupees. So if he goes to any of our value-added service hospitals, he can get a discount up to 30%. So a scan that was costing 6,000 bucks will be now costing 4,200 rupees. So there's a direct saving on his cash outflow of 1,800 rupees. So that small thing will be really appreciated by the client. That's what we felt. So we have introduced this offer. So the list of hospitals which are offering these type of discounts are available on our website. The client can also contact our toll-free number or can mail to our health ID to know the further details of this special OPD discounts. So this was the one part of the value-added services, that is discounts on the OPD services provided by the hospitals. Now there were other aspects which were needed to be touched. Let's say dental cases. Now dental cases don't get paid by any insurance company unless there is a gross accident and it is superadded with some other problem due to which he was required admission. Common dental ailments like dental checkup or dental polishing or just scaling, these are done by almost everybody once in a year. So the doctors will be charging high amount. So what we thought, we went and had a tie-up with 2 or 3 of the sectors. The main you can see, I think we have tie-up with the SRL and the Vasan Dental Care. Vasan being predominantly in the South India, and SRL has a pan-India presence in about 10, 15 cities. So by this offer, our cardholders, if they go to these centers, they flash our Bajaj Allianz card or even a printout of a e-card, then they can get discounts. They can get a complimentary consultation. They can get 5 to 10% discount on orthodontics, on other implants, and all those things. So I think this will really help them to have a cost control. Now, if you can go to the next page, there are a few offers like
Yeah.
units in this page and the GKB opticals. Now, everybody everybody goes into malls and goes for buying these ideas or spectacles and all. So we thought, why not have a tie-up with these type of outlets also, where they honor our health card holders. They give some sort of a discount. The person may not necessarily buy a spectacles; he may buy a goggle also. So in that also he can get X amount of discount. These type of eye outlet centers like GKV and all are having pan India presence. So our cardholder can get a benefit. So he can save some amount of money, which otherwise he would have been spending, and he can use it as his savings. Another type of special offer which we are having for our cardholder is on the SRL group, that is on the pathology test or the other type of health checkups. The reason is that prevention is better than cure. So if few people they want to do annual health checkup or some sort of a checkup, they can go to these centers and do the health checkup. Uh, the details of all these things are available on the website, as I told earlier, or they can be verified by calling at our customer free center. Now, this slide which we are presently showing is the most important because this is not something which we have done more recently. The first one is a
Right.
Ayurvedic center. Now, this center has a pan India presence, majority in Maharashtra, and it has got two outlets in UK also. So our card holders, can you just come back to the previous slide?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Yeah. So our card holders, if they let's say they are of travel policy or any health policy holder, so they want to go and avail these Ayurvedic facilities, or they are in UK also, they can get a free consultation, they can get free ECG done from these centers. The another point which we thought, that what about those patients who are requiring some sort of a medical apparatus? Medical apparatus can be as elementary as a BP apparatus or a stethoscope, or it can be as complicated as a wheelchair or a crutch or some sort of prosthetic device or a treadmill also. So we have done a tie-up with a center that is also Pune based, but having a reach at pan India level. Up to 40% discounts are available if a client wants to do a booking via telephone. Payments can be made to them. It is through IVR, and the the goods or the apparatus can be delivered at their doorsteps. So let's say we have a patient who underwent a joint replacement, and the doctor has suggested him a brace or a crutch to walk or a walker. He can order this device, which otherwise would have been, let's say, 2000 rupees, but if they order from him, they can get it for 800 or 900 rupees also. So that is a saving that can be obtained via these value-added service offers. So these are the small steps we thought we will take, we will use, and we will give it to our customers, so that they are constantly thinking, or they keep up a brand value in their mind even when they are not ill. So we are serving them not only when they get admitted, but also when they are in malls also, and purchasing and doing purchase for some other products. So that
That's
was the main
absolutely
concept.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. That's a host of benefits which people would have probably never even thought a health insurance policy would be able to offer. Thank you so
Exactly.
much, doctor. I believe we also have a new value-added service called for renewing Easy Health Club. So if you could just tell us what that is for those customers of Bajaj Allianz who are currently with us.
Exactly. This is a very novel concept that was formulated about 2 3 months back. Our presence is in the motor field also. We have lot many customers who are having a motor insurance policy also. So we thought, we have a gamut of services for this health card holders. Why not pass these services to to our clients who are having other type of health policies? Based on this concept, we introduced a new card that is called as the Easy Card. It is called as a Moto Health Card. So a part of the health component becomes a part once a motor policy is being renewed with Bajaj Allianz at the renewal price, and that health part may be as small as a personal accident. So once a client purchases becomes a part of this Easy Card, then he indirectly becomes a holder of a Bajaj Allianz health card. And this Easy Card has the same offerings which a normal or any routine health card holder is having. So the value-added services, the OPD discounts, the discounts on the labs, the pathology tests, the investigations and all, which were discussed previously will get passed on to this to this easy card holder also. So now we are not restricting these extra services to only proper health insurance policy holders, but we are passing that to our motor policy holders also by a mean of a small health component through this easy card. So this is the concept of the easy card, and this is what I wanted to explain, so that those who are not having a proper health card or any health policy can also avail our services by opting for this easy card.
Okay. Well, that's interesting too. So motor customers, car insurance customers out there also now can get, extra benefits, health benefits, which we have been
Exactly.
discussing. There's also
Exactly.
another value-added feature which Bajaj Allianz offers, which is in the form of a GeoFit card. Dr. Abhijit would be the ideal person who would be able to explain to us what are the benefits of this card and who can avail of it.
Exactly. All those extra services which I had mentioned earlier are the part of a Easy Card and a Bajaj Allianz Health Card. Now here we have another product where it is a co-branding and which is a IRD approved co-branding, that is with the Yes Bank, and this is called as a GeoFit card, where and our policy holder can open a bank account also with the Yes Bank at all those zero annual maintenance and zero surcharge and all those things. So it is a very beneficial tie-up. Here, there are many more other facilities available also, like gym tie-ups, tie-up with few websites, tie-up with apparel websites, tie-up with travel websites. So all these things are available. So there is already a gamut of services in the routine health card, and it is super added with the other services that is available in the GeoFit health card. And also that ease of transactions become easy. And the best part of this GeoFit card is that there's a common common customer ID. So the person need not have to remember his policy number every time he goes on renewing, because of the common ID each and every time when he renews the tie-up with us. So these are the extra offerings which are present with the GeoFit card, and yes, it works as a debit card also, because it is with a bank. And then it has got other sort of rewarding services, like if you go to gym you get some extra points, if you buy some healthy foods you get extra points, and later on they can be redeemed. So this is the concept of GeoFit, because as the name suggests, we want to keep the customer healthy, and once he does all the healthy buying, or he goes to gyms and keeps himself healthy, he gets a new value services, new valued services from Bajaj Allianz. So that is the concept of the GeoFit card.
Oh, this is really good. It's almost like a comprehensive discount coupon which a person can use for, different things that he needs.
Exactly. The best part is that it is a zero balance, as I told, and also at petrol pump there is no surcharge that has to be paid. So that is the best part of the GeoFit card.
Well, that is absolutely excellent. I believe we also have a few new interactive features that's going to come up for people on our portal. Could you just tell us what these are going to be and how people can avail of this? Hello, yeah, Dr. Abhijit?
Yeah, I had lost you that time.
Oh, no issues. I think we've been having some on and off some issue with the. We just wanted to know the latest value-added services that are going to come up, which is the interactive portal that we are going to
Yeah,
have. If you could just mention a bit about that.
exactly. This is something which is new concept that is thought about, and soon we will be going live with this. What we thought, there are many things for which a person need not go to hospital, especially like he's having small problems, like he's at the airport and he's getting acidity and he's not sure what he should do, or he wants to book up an appointment for his parents. He's in US and his parents are in India, and he wants to book up an appointment. Or let's say the guy was traveling and there's a car break, and now he's feeling dehydrated or something, or he wants to go to the nearest hospital that is there, or what emergency or extra aid he should be looking at. So these are the few services we thought we'll look at. Or let's say there's a IT guy and he knows a little bit about that problem, but his boss is not giving him a leave to go out and meet the doctor because going out will take a half a day's work. So we thought that we'll go live with an external vendor, yes, and we'll make a health portal. In that health portal, there will be a bouquet of services, which includes one and the foremost live chat with the doctors. These doctors are proper graduate doctors who are working as a general practitioners. If they want to go a step higher, they can go for a specialist and a super specialist consultation, but that will be not as a live chat, but that will be on email based. There are other services like health risk assessment. The person can go and do a diet counseling, or can have a psychologist counseling done also. Also, this website or this portal will have lot many emailers or health tips which are relevant to the day-to-day activities or the seasonal changes and all those things. So these are the new things we thought we'll give it to our customers, and that is to the health portal. This will go live soon. As I said, it is presently not available, but by end of this month, it should be available to our customers.
Okay, that is great news. That is absolutely great news. So this is really interesting. The range of benefits that one can get from a health policy is amazing. So if we were to sum it up, and please do add in if I have left anything out, the basic things that one should do is one should make sure that they understand all the coverages properly, the limits, the waiting period, and the claim process in a particular company. And in-house TPA, we've learned, helps in reducing the turnaround time and gives the customer the benefit of directly interacting with the insurance company claims expert. Now, since insurance companies also strive to serve their customers better, an in-house claims team enables them to have better coordination with hospital. They monitor the rates themselves and secure benefits for customers such as OPD discounts. Plus, Dr. Abhijit mentioned about value-added services, which are not highlighted when you go to purchase a policy, because obviously the main focus is on the health policy and the coverages itself. But these also go a long way in providing year-round benefit on services that we wind up requiring at some point of time. Is there anything else? If I have missed out, you could just add in.
No, I think you have covered most of it.
I think that's
okay, great. Now it's question time. We will quickly take a few questions that we have. One of the questions we have is from Harsh. He would like to know, can we avail multiple health insurance policies from different companies?
He can actually. He can avail of multiple health insurance policies. Typically, benefit plans such as the hospital cash benefit plan, etc. People do opt for multiple plans. In case he's opting for a health insurance policy, in case he wants to opt for more than one health insurance policy, then he needs to declare it at the time of proposing for each new insurance policy that he already holds another health insurance policy. What is the sum insured? What is the name of the company? What are the claims that have already been incurred in that instance? This declaration has to be made because there could be some specific underwriting guidelines for each insurer while accepting multiple health policy holders. So it is possible to have multiple health insurance policies. Only correct information has to be declared for all those policies.
Right. Okay. There's also another question from Mr. Prasad. He would like to know, Bajaj Allianz as a company, what are the policies that health insurance policies that we provide, and how people can decide which policy is best for them?
We have actually, Bajaj Allianz is one of the insurance companies which provides the entire gamut of health insurance products. We have our flagship product, the Health Guard policy, Health Guard, Health Insure, Insta Insure, etc., which are hospitalization related policies. The standard hospitalization related policies. We also have critical illness, hospital cash, etc., which are benefit plans which offer a lump sum benefit in case of occurrence of certain illnesses, or a lump sum benefit on a per day basis, as is there in the hospital cash policy. So there are various products which are available in the market, and many insurance companies provide some sort of variation of these products. Bajaj Allianz obviously has the entire range of both hospitalization related as well as benefit kind of policies. What policy to opt for and which one is required depends upon each person's or each insured, I mean each customer's need. In case it's a small family of small family of with the age group within 35 years of age, then obviously a standard hospitalization policy such as the Bajaj Allianz Health Guard policy, along with probably a critical illness plan would help. In case the people of higher age group, typically parents, etc., are also covered or also need to be covered, then probably Mr. Prasad could look at not just a hospitalization policy for himself and his spouse and children, but also our senior citizen policy like Silver Health for the parents, coupled with our extra care policy, which gives the benefit of which is a high deductible policy, which is very, very beneficial in case of high value claims which are typically expected in people of a higher age group. Things like higher value claims for probably a heart surgery or a knee replacement surgery, etc. So typically it depends on each individual customer's needs, but these are the plans that you should probably be looking at. If he can give us more details about what are his requirements, we can guide him more specifically.
Okay, that's great. I guess that will also take care of a query by Mr. Ranjan, who wanted to know what are the benefits for a senior citizen. As Dr. Renuka mentioned, there's a separate policy for senior citizens called Silver Health. So probably that is something which has been custom made just for people, to cater to people of that age background. Now, thank you so much. Because we have less time, we would not be able to take more questions, but we will try and see if we can get these queries directly replied to on Twitter itself. So to our viewers, just a little more time left. So quickly send us your tweet on the learning from today's webinar and your favorite speakers, and Flipkart vouchers are all for you. Thank you, Dr. Abhijit. Thank you, Dr. Renuka.
Thank you, Bharti.
Now we hope that after this webinar, to those of you who have gotten an interest in getting a health insurance policy, if you don't have one, or for those of you who are close to renewing your policy, we've given you enough food for thought. Now, this is a health insurance plan by Bajaj Allianz, the details of which you can view on our website at bajajallianz.com. And yes, it features the benefits and value-added services that Dr. Abhijit mentioned during the presentation. As Dr. Abhijit also mentioned, that we believe in imparting a lot of knowledge and sharing information with our customers. We believe in empowering our customers to understand what insurance is all about. So what we have is an information portal called Help and Support, where you can get insights on insurance, safety tips for your car and home, instructional videos, and a lot more. Do give this a check. You might just find answers to some of your queries here. We also invite customers to raise complaints and get their policy queries answered out here. Well, the winners of the Twitter contest will be announced shortly. So all those of you who participated and who joined the webinar and helped us in making this such a huge success, thank you so much. Do stay tuned for our next webinar, which will probably be sometime next month on Geo Befikar Women. Thank you all for joining us today on the webinar on demystifying a health policy. Thank you so much. Have a nice weekend.